Some other influences on children are peer group influences. And this actually happens a little bit later in some children that are in a preschool program or infant center. It happens at a younger age. But generally, in the youngest ages, children's biggest influence is their home environment. Once they start going to school and they're school age children, peers become a bigger influence on children. And so it goes from parents or family having the biggest influence, and then that just decreasing each year the child's in school until when they are in junior high, high school, peers have a bigger influence than their home. So enculturation in a peer group is when children start to understand how the other cultural groups act, their norms, their habits, and they start understanding that and getting a little bit out of their own bubble. And then peer group as a barometer, they are able to kind of read the room themselves. They can see what makes their peers laugh, what's okay, what's not socially accepted, how to dress, what shows to watch. They're using their peer group as how to interact and socialize in this world. And so they learn to socialize according to the group norms. And those group norms can change from school to school. But what does that mean for children with special needs that are not able to read social cues? We can see that a lot of bullying happens when children are not able to read social cues and may laugh at inappropriate times, or not laugh, or cry, or dress differently, or any of those things. And that is because of the peer influence. Another big impact on children is media. And 80% of studies showed that childhood obesity, tobacco use, sexual behavior, drug and alcohol use, low academic achievement, and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD, positively correlated to greater media exposure. And not all media is created the same. There are different types of media that are more harmful, as we'll see in a minute, and some that are positive influences. So print materials, it is important to have a lot of print in the home. So available printed materials implies the values of the homeschool and community. If you have a school with no books, if you have a library with very little access to books, very few books on the shelves, if you have a home with no books in them that children can read, that implies that books are not important. And books influence our feelings. It gives us a gateway into learning about other cultures, other people, different value systems, different understanding of the world. So it opens up another world. So it's really important for children to be exposed to all of these different types of print in the environment. So television, and we are actually going to do some watching of television later in the semester, but preschool children watch generally 2 to 3.5 hours of TV per day. I'm sure right now it's a little bit different, probably a little bit more if there are people working at home, but generally, in typical studies, it has been about 2 to 3.5 hours. This actually, there's a direct correlation with eating habits and social interactions. So eating habits, if they see a commercial on TV for a certain cereal or chips or a snack that they want, they beg their parents, their adult, to buy the snack, and it is generally not a healthy snack. There are not a lot of commercials out there for apples or bananas, or any of the healthier fruits and vegetables, right? It's mostly processed foods. And so children can also sit and mindlessly eat just like adults when they're watching TV. Children also get their cues from TV about social interactions. So if you look at the shows that are mainly targeted to teenagers, they are definitely shows that elementary school children and even younger are watching, even though they are not targeted to that age group. And you usually have maybe a snarky character on there, or somebody that is typically in trouble. And I'm thinking of the show iCarly, if you ever watched that. It's pretty funny, but when you have a 6 or 7-year-old watching that, they're getting their social cues on how to treat other people and how to treat their parents and that kind of thing.